My name's Emad. Welcome to season 2 of the E-Vlogs. Happy Independence Day to all the Indians around the world and the Pakistanis. There's so much going on Instagram with people putting up feeds with blue and green and the colors and patriotism, and I was like, yeah, mujhe aisi feeling kyun nahi aati? And you know, I guess maybe I'm like one of those NRI Indians, never lived in India, so I had to reflect and think and be like, what makes me Indian, right? And so I've come up with the 7 things that make me Indian. Number 1, cricket. ठीक है? बचपन से अब्बू ने like instilled cricket in our blood. We are die-hard bleed blue fans. You can see that from all my vlogs. Top 3 moments for me when it comes to cricket that I've ever witnessed for India. Number 1, NatWest series, Yuvraj Singh, Mohammad Kaif, and then Dada took his shirt off. That is like one of the greatest moments that changed cricket for me. Number 2 is 2003 World Cup, India versus Pakistan. Sachin hitting Shoaib Akhtar, the way we chased that with Sehwag and Sachin. And finally, the moment that we all love is Dhoni hitting the winning 6 to win us the World Cup in 2011.
India lift the World Cup after 28 years.
Number 2 thing that makes me Indian, Bollywood. ठीक है? बचपन से it's in you. You've grown up seeing Bollywood. No matter how much your parents even try to keep you away from it when you're a kid. For me, my favorite movie of all time is अंदाज़ अपना अपना.
साला ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे बंदर के सर पे तरबूज.
100 दफ़ा देखी होगी, हर dialogue, हर चीज़ याद है. I'm putting a link up here. One of my first YouTube videos ever.
Hi sir, I'm Amar. Hello.
And I'm Prem.
Number 3, high education. I mean, I have suffered through having to do engineering and having to write every exam. I mean, I had to do O-levels, A-levels, APs, Sat 1, Sat 2s, whatever you can think of, I had to do those exams. My dad, I still remember, told me, "Beta, engineering to kar rahe ho, you have 2 choices. You have to get into Waterloo or UFT. Anything else, don't even discuss any other option with me."
मेरा बेटा engineer बनेगा.
Number 4. Cheapness, or just be smart with money. I'm different now, unfortunately. My parents would be like, "This is bilkul paise ki qadar nahi hai," lekin bachpan mein at least we'd be very careful with money. And I remember even when we got our first cell phone, it would cost 30 fils for a call. We'd be so careful with just using that. We'd give missed calls to our parents so they'd call us back type of thing. So that cheapness was definitely there growing up somewhere. Some of my friends can, I guess, attest to it. But the 5th thing, love stories. Now, you know, India is all about love and ye wo bakwas jo bhi. So that's in our family too, man. Starting from my grandparents, my dada dadi. I think their marriage was complicated. My grandfather was sent away for 7 years so he could forget my grandmother, but he still came back and married her. My parents did the same. I know they're watching, they're gonna feel super awkward, but did the same, and me and all my siblings have done the same thing. So this is true Indianness at its core, right? Number 6 is contributing to India. So my nana was a freedom fighter. He'd been to jail multiple times. He started movements back in, I think, 1930s against the British. So we lost a lot of that in the partition, but my family still stayed in India and didn't want to migrate to Pakistan. And finally, it's the unity of religion for me is what makes us Indian, right? For example, I still remember my oldest friend as a kid, Suraj, Hindu, Gujarati. When we'd hang out together and I'd have to go pray, we'd get out, pray namaz. He'd be waiting outside with his driver, and then we'd go and continue on. Even growing up here in Canada, one of my closest Sikh friends, Simran, we'd go to her house and she'd allow me to pray. She'd give me a spot to pray when I have to pray namaz in her house. And I think that's a very Indian thing as well. So those are the 7 things that make me Indian. I think finally the one thing that I like to say to everyone watching this is that if you look at an individual or a society, you're judged how you treat people who are your subordinates. So in the workplace, it doesn't matter how you treat your boss, it's how you're gonna treat the person who's maybe a level below you. Everyone's gonna be respectful to someone in power, but how do you treat somebody who's not in a privileged situation? So I think same goes for India. I think we all need to kind of look within and see how are we treating the minorities in the country, and if we really look inside, deep inside, that's how we should judge ourselves. So I hope the year coming up next, inshallah, can be a year that the minorities in India and across the world can prosper and do well as well. So that's it, guys. That was the first episode of season 2. Hope you guys enjoy it. Give me the comments, let me know what your thoughts. Happy Independence Day to all my Indian brothers and sisters and family across the world, and to the Pakistanis across the border as well. Peace.